Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 19 here in Boulder Canyon. We are just going to... Well, I was thinking we'd do something to the sheep, but we don't actually need to do anything to the sheep. The sheep are doing just fine. We've got 180 sheep in the pen right now. We get an animal every 5.5 hours. So they're doing absolutely fine. We've got no concerns whatsoever for the sheep. We are able to get in total in this pen 250. So we're not going to go buying anything just yet. And we need another 70 sheep total in that pen to fill it all the way to the very brim. What I want to do, first of all, today, the very first thing on the list, is to gather some more timber. Before we can do that, though, we do need to skip over to here, start this bad boy up, and get this little load of logs right here sold. It's not a completely full load, because the stuff that's left is not a completely full load either. So what I'm hoping is that we get everything else sold. Then we send this one and, well, both of these, the truck and the trailer, to the dealership. And then we sell those, and that is a little bit more money. Then we hop on to the tractor and the stump grinder, and we start clearing away all of the stumps from that area behind the sheep pen. When that's done, then we've got a few things that we need to buy. We need to buy a pig pen, we need to buy a cattle pen, and we need to buy a stationary total mixed ration mixer so that we can mix everything up. And that got us right there, $35,000. We go and get the rest. Hopefully that's about another $35,000. That's going to take us up to in the region of 660,000, and then we get this as well. That's easily going to cover the cost of the pig pen and the cattle pen, and also the stationary mixed feeder, which is quite an important aspect of what I would like to do. It means that we're not going to have to spend absolutely ages going backwards and forwards with a trailed mixed feeder for feeding the animals. Now, feeding the pigs, that's a little bit different. We're going to be needing to do that with a tractor and trailer, and we've got a choice. We can either go backwards and forwards with the one trailer that we've got, or we can get a few more trailers back here and do it with several at a time. Not really sure what the best option for that one is at the moment, so I'll give that one a little bit of thought, and we'll sort of come back to it. Now, I want to go into there. We are loading on the right, so I want to load on the left to start with. I want to go to there and start loading. So there's those two logs. I will stop loading and I will put that on, so then I can move this one back round like this and go and park alongside those few bits of timber right there. Take it on up a little bit like that and take the straps off and then load again. And now, of course, it's not going to work. There we go. Okay, so it will work eventually, and we can drop that onto there. Now we will bring this one over here. I don't think there's anything else other than this heap in the middle. I think this is it now. Oh, wait a minute. We're supposed to be running this on 30 times speed. Let's just do 60, just for a minute to make up for the bit we didn't do. And we come over to here. And we go to there. Right, okay, I think that's enough. I didn't do very much. And I want to switch sides so that I'm loading on this side here. And then inch forward a little bit. Little bit by little bit, like that. There we go. That's looking better. There's one log out there that I don't think is going to... Oh, no, we have got that one. Right, so now all we got to do is get this big heap right here in the middle. There's a few shorter pieces right there. There's another shorter piece. Are we going to get that one? Is that one shorter piece? That one shorter piece over there is not actually going to be... Oh, there we go. Right, I've got it now. It's stuck itself out over the top. Didn't quite want it to do that. I tell you what, we will stop and we will move like that. There's no... I don't see any other logs anywhere else. So we've achieved another target. Just about. We'll have achieved another target in a minute. We will have loaded up all of the rest of the timber that we have got here. Let's switch you to... There we go. I want to put those onto the back like that. And change that one over like that. Bring you round. And I've got just those two left right there. And then go like that. I think that's about it. I don't think there's going to be anything else here. I'm looking around. We've cleared everything all the way over that side. It doesn't look like there is anything else here. I think we have actually got everything now. So we will start taking this up to the mill. We will put that down to 5 times speed now. And that's it. That is the last of the loading done. The last of the logs loaded up. We're shipping these off to the mill, and then that is going to be it. I'm not even going to drive this one back to the yard. We will simply have the dealership collect it from the mill after it's delivered its final load. And that's going to be done. That's another end of an era right there, ladies and gentlemen. So let's bring you in round the corner here. There. End of an era right there. That is it. We are done. Look at him go. He's looking quite fan-schmabulous, as always. You know what? I think we might try and get a close-up view of that one as he goes up the hill. The final pull up that steep ramp over there. We have really struggled with that ramp over there. We have done a huge amount of work. We've hauled a lot of timber in through here. This is one of the most inaccessible sawmills I've ever had to work with at any point ever, ever. And this is it. This is the final time that we're ever going to need to do this. Up he goes. Last time, right there. Look at that. That's actually pretty cool. Like, it's quite powerful, this machine. It's quite amazing just how much we have hauled up this steep ramp right here. And that is the final load. Let's bring that one in round. Oh, yeah, it was starting to rock a bit there. Let's not tip it over as the very last thing we do. We don't want to do that. We want to go out on a high, not on a flop on your side sort of situation. Let's bring you over there and sell that lot, 21,000. We're not going to get the kind of money that I thought we might get for this, but we're not going to do too bad. 21,000 and another 5,600 there, so that makes 27,000. $27,000 right there. That is all of the timber sold. So now we can go into here, and we can go to here, and we can go like that, and we can reset that vehicle there, and we can reset that one. That means that the shop has come along and they've come and collected that for us, from us, and they have taken it over to here, ready to be checked over in the workshop. That's what they do. They bring it back here. They come and collect it. They bring it back. They've folded everything up and they've made sure that it's all working, and then they take it over to their workshop over here. They check it over and then they offer us a sale price for it. So let's let them do that a minute. Let's just witness them doing their work. See that they're bringing it in over this side like that, and they're going to unhitch it there. Shut that one off, and they're now going to do their check. So they're checking this one over. They're offering us $114,000 for this one, which we haven't really got any choice. We will take that because no one else is going to offer us a better price. I didn't mean to do that. No one's going to be offering us a better price than that. I meant to press tab. No, I didn't need to press tab. I need to press R again. Really? That's not actually... That one's not actually in the box. We need to move it in a bit further. Right, let's go to you then. And just imagine that one was in the box where it should have been. So don't look the other way. Look the other way. You didn't see that. You didn't see that. You didn't witness that terrible abuse of the front of this lovely truck right here. That you did not witness. You didn't see anything. There's nothing to see here, folks. We actually got less than I was expecting for that truck. I was expecting to get close to 200,000 for it. We only got 114,000. This one we get 20 grand. So we sell that one as well. That's gone. We've got $788,000 now. Our next job is back here at the yard. Now, everything else has been put away. We haven't got anything else that we need to worry about. One thing that I haven't done for a little bit is check the price of the oats, and that is down to 546, so we ain't selling any oats today. Maybe we need to, it's just got to be above 900. Maybe we're not going to be getting prices below, above 1,000. We definitely had above 900, so we can, it might be that we got to sell above 900. So I think we will aim for above 900 rather than trying to aim for it, because I'm not sure that we've ever had above 1,000. It's just, I thought maybe we had. But, I mean, if we haven't had above 1,000, we haven't had above 1,000. We need to be able to get some... We need to be able to sell the oats, right? We want to sell them. We want to get that done so then there's a little bit more cash coming in. We're not getting a huge amount more cash. We're certainly not getting any more timber. That's gone. That's done with now. We've sold the Scorpion. We've sold the truck. We've sold the trailer. Our logging days are over. It is the end of an era. So for those of you that have actually really enjoyed the logging, I am sorry. Yeah, there's not a lot that I can say about that. Logging is done. We'll come back to it one day. Not on this series, obviously. But we will come back to doing more logging at some point. Right now, we're going to get round these stumps as quickly and efficiently as we can. I'm going to keep this stump grinder just for a little bit longer, though. Because just in case we've got a stump or two that is under the ground, because we know that we have occasionally missed the odd stump here and there, which is not an ideal situation to be in, but there's not a lot that we can do about it. You know, if we miss a stump, we miss a stump, especially if it's like one that's under the ground. We need to kind of dig down for them, don't we, and try and dig them out like that. So it's not the easiest thing to do, but we can do it. We are able to do that just the same as we're able to do so many other different things that we have done. We've achieved a lot in this series. We really have. Like, our farm now is starting to look absolutely spectacular. We've got a huge, great big farm. We've got buildings everywhere. We've got walls that have been built. We've got fields there with crops growing in them. It does look quite spectacular, and we started off with nothing but a forested hillside. That's what we started with here. It was a forested hillside and absolutely nothing else whatsoever. We actually started up on the top of the hill. There was a house up there. And that's not our house anymore. That one's gone. Let's go and get that one. Actually, I don't think that was ever our house. I think that's just where you started. I think it was where you started if you started on the easy mode, maybe? I think that's what it was. Started up on the mountain on the easy mode, which is a little bit far away from the sawmill. I am very, very glad I took the decision to start down here right next to the sawmill. I like the idea of starting further away and us making us travel a lot further. Didn't really like that idea at all. I mean, I did consider it to start with to add to the challenge, but, you know, after some thought and some feedback from all of you guys as well, most of you agreed with my sort of sentiments on that, was that, yes, it would add to challenge, but it seemed like it was going to just make it unnecessarily dull. It'd be like driving backwards and forwards to the shop every single time that we want to sell something, and it's quite a long trip, and I didn't really want to sort of add that aspect into it. I didn't think there was any real need for that. So I'm quite glad that we ended up not doing that. And also the decision not to put the cows up on the top of the hill. Like, we did originally think that maybe that would be a good idea. And that was mainly for the lag aspect of the game, because we do know that it does cause a bit of lag going up onto the top of it, like putting all the animals in close together. So that would have been like a lag cure problem, a lag solving issue. I was going to say lag problem solving, but it's lag solving issue, not problem solving. Although it is a problem technically. So I'm quite glad that we ended up deciding not to do that. Although that being said, we haven't actually got our cows here yet, so we may end up changing our minds on that one. May decide that perhaps it would have been better if we'd gone and put them up on the top of the hill after all. That being said, though, we already know that it was going to be prohibitively expensive putting everything up on the top of the hill, and yeah, there would have been a lot of land had to be like dug down and moved round in order to get them up there, and I didn't really want to do that. I didn't really want to have to spend that kind of money. We got 788,000 here. We're going to be using a big chunk of that to put the cattle pen in and put the pig pen in, but then we're going to be using another big chunk of it to actually do the landscaping that I want to do around the pen, so that we've got suitable tracks in place and we've got suitable access and everything else that we could possibly want all the way around these animal pens. So it's going to require a bit of work for us to get everything in place exactly how it should be. It is going to be a fair bit of work involved, and it's going to be a fair bit of money involved as well. These things don't come free. These things don't come cheap. We're going to need to be able to spend a bit of money just like removing a few slopes, adding a few slopes where they need to be, and putting the tracks in the right places so that we've definitely got them there and they're able to be used. I'll bring you over there and chop that one out. I will back up here and get this one, and then we'll go out towards the road. I'm sort of trying to work round in a rough circuit around the edge of this, getting all the stumps around the edge, and then we can sort of move our way in closer towards the middle. I'm also keeping a very careful eye out for any stumps. I don't want to miss any. I'm gonna just leave this stump grinder parked up somewhere on our property, so we will be able to use it again if we find more stumps, because the last thing I want is stumps being left behind. That's one thing that's very important. No stump left behind. It's going to be our motto. It's no stump left behind. Go and get that one over there. And then... right, there's that bit there. And then we've got a few here in the middle this side, which I can now start to take out. There's actually quite a few of them here. We had a bit of a cluster of trees right here. Made it fairly easy for picking them out. And although it does depend on the trees. Like sometimes having them too close together, it just makes life really difficult, because they've all got branches low down to the ground, and it makes it really difficult to see any of them. So some of them are better when they're clustered together, and some of them not quite so much. And the ideal way of doing trees is to have them in a neat and tidy row, because then you don't have to move around quite so much with your tree harvester. You can just move up, grab the tree, fell it, and if you've got everything angled correctly, you don't need to move at all. You can just literally drive along the row, felling the trees as you go, without having to make any adjustments whatsoever. You just grab the tree, chop, and it falls, and then you cut it up into individual pieces, and then you move on to the next tree, chop, and it falls, and chop it up, and so on and so forth. And the whole thing sort of goes through very smoothly, very simply, very easily. You're not going through smoothly and simply. I wonder, does anybody know if doing this job with dual tyres on would be better than doing it with just the single tyres on? Would it help to sort of lessen the damage being done to the wheels? Because I know that driving over the stumps like we are, that is going to put a lot of stress. It is going to damage the tyres, things like that. I don't know if working with twin wheels in this situation would actually be beneficial or not. I'm sort of looking at it and I'm thinking, well, if he's going up, he's more likely to catch tyres and go up on them. Catch tree stumps and go up on them with the twin wheels on it like this. But at the same time, you know, well, the weight is spread when it's on the ground, but every time it catches a tree stump, it's lifting it up into the air. Now, that's obviously the twin tyres, they're extra weight, aren't they? So whether that is a good thing or not, I suppose there's, like, even when you're driving up over the stump, you're less likely to just have part of a wheel on. Like, it's... I don't know. I guess you'd sort of argue that one backwards and forwards a little bit as to whether it would be better or not. I'm thinking it wouldn't be better. I'm thinking what possibly would be better would be cages rather than this, and also maybe chains or some sort of reinforced wheels. Better yet, iron wheels. If you add iron wheels rather than pneumatic tires, that I'm thinking would be your best option for traveling backwards and forwards and driving up over tree stumps that possibly got a lot of sharp edges on them. Either that or the special foam-filled tires. Now, there's tires you can get. They're foam-filled rather than air-filled, and so you don't ever actually have to blow them up. It's impossible for them to get a puncture. You could go and get 6-inch nails and hammer them in all the way round, and it wouldn't make any difference because the inside of the tire is filled with a special foam rather than, air blown into it. And that's what keeps the tractor up into the air and keeps it buoyant and keeps everything looking good and keeps the comfortable ride. They are really, it's a really expensive option though, or at least it used to be. I remember working on a farm where they were seriously looking into getting these special foam-filled tires because the ground they worked had a huge amount of flint, and so their wheels used to get shredded pretty quickly. It wasn't for all of the tractors, but for the plow tractor, because the wheel for the plow, the wheel for the tractor when you were plowing was in the furrow of the previous pass of the plow, it meant that the side walls of the tires were constantly being cut by the sharp flints in the ground. And this was causing a problem. It was causing too much downtime, so they started seriously looking into there were a couple of different options that they were looking at. One was a special reinforced tire. It had extra reinforcements in the side walls, and the other was a... Is there a stump there? No. The other one was this foam-filled tire, so that if the side wall of the tire, the wheel, was shredded, it wouldn't actually damage it wouldn't make any difference. So the tractor was able to keep going. And ultimately they went for the ones with the reinforced sidewalls. It had extra steel in the sidewalls of the wheels, so that it was able to withstand this kind of abuse that it was getting. And they worked out very nicely. That in the end, that was the option that worked out the best for the farm. But I do remember the other option being these foam-filled tires. And I'm sort of looking at this job, I'm thinking that the foam-filled tires would be the best option for this particular job here, wouldn't it? At least that's what I'm thinking. Then if the tire is damaged with the wheel going, the wheel going over the tree stump, it's not going to cause major problems, is it? Now, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to hook this trailer on right here, and we're going to go over this way. How are we doing for wool, by the way? We've got a few pallets there, and wool price... O-M, giddy aunt me. Look at that, 1,245 for wool right now. You are loading pallets right now anyway. That is an insane price for wool. We've only got 4 pallets full. If you look at that, that's about 4 pallets full right there. I'm going to load these 4 pallets straight on right now. We're going to go like that and load them on. I'm going to stop loading. I'm going to unload, and I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to take these 4 pallets worth of wool that we've got right here. We're going to take them on round. 1,245 per 1,000 litres of wool. That is absolutely insane. That is a huge amount of money. It's a shame that we don't have the full trailer that we had before. That would have been a really... we did get over 1,000, but we didn't have anything like this kind of price. $53,000 worth of wool right there. Sold. Excellent. Thank you very much. I'll go and take these back round again, and then our next job is to pick up those bales of hay and just move them out of the way so that then we can put in the cattle pen and the pig pen. And of course I forgot to put it down to 5 times speed, which means I've got an errant pallet on there, which I didn't want to have. So what we will do is I will put it down to 1 times speed. I needed to do that. I should have done that. So what I will do is I will take those straps off. I will load that on like that. Then I will come on round and I will just hook that pallet in. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to do that yet, because This trailer, I need to line up straighter. I need to be lined up a little bit straighter. Bring you around like this. There. Now I want to set it loading again. Oh no, it was loading. There. I want to do that. And then I want to go stop loading. I want to do that. There. Move that forward a little bit. And I want to drop those onto there. That ain't right. That ain't right. We've got to do that again. Okay. Now it really ain't right. So what actually, you know, what I can do is we can go in here and I can pick those up like that. And then I can bring them back over this way. We'll have to come back round again and do that. So we don't want to go forward quite as much as I did just then. I'll go forward so that I can go and drop off this little bit right here and bring you in like that. And then, I want to unload onto the trailer just so that we get rid of that little tiny bit of wool right there. And then load it back on like that. And then we go like that. So I've got that one lined out there, ready to unload. And I don't want to go forward quite as much as I did. So all I got to do is I got to bring this one up round here. And then we're going to line this one up kind of straight onto here. Like that. Right. That's about the right position that we need to be, but we don't want to come forward as much as we have been. We need to go about there, I think. That's much better. That is much, much better like that. That's what we need it to be. And now we can just wiggle that one back round to there, like that. Bring you over this way. And we want to set this one now to loading some bales. So we want to go back into there. We want to press Z. Pallets, large square bales. Okay, that's what we want. Right there. Press U to start it loading. And I will just get these few bales that we've got here. Get them loaded onto the trailer. Fantastic. And that is all I need to do with that. So then I can stop loading. I can unload onto there. And I can put the straps onto it like that. And I'm just going to move this down into the middle of the yard. And then we are ready to purchase our cattle pen. That is the only thing that we've got left to do now is purchase the cattle pen. So let's bring you in here. And we will go to there and we will stop. Just like that. I'm going to stand up on here. It's going to be like conducting the symphony orchestra, this is. So I'm going to stand here to do this. What I am going to do is I'm just going to say save game a second because we've got we're going to be placing stuff down, and just in case we make a horrible mistake, we can go back to this point right here, and that can sort of be our correction. So we want to bring you over here like this. Now I want to turn me around. So I would like the loading area for the cattle pen to be on that side there. I want a decent bit of space between our house and the rest of it. So we want to move you back this way, like that. Then I don't want this to be up in the air at all. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Right, that's too much up in the air, that is. So what I got to do is I got to bring you back over there a bit, but then we need to go Control Q like that and lower it down. So it's gonna lower down to the lowest point of all of it. Actually, I don't need to go right to the lowest point. We can take it to about there, I think. That's perfect. Now, how much is that going to cost us? That's 320. So we're spending an extra 21,000 to put that one in there. There's enough space there in the front. We can run then a loop around. There we go. Fantastic. That is absolutely fantastic. There is the cattle pen. We have got it. Now all we need to do is get the large pig enclosure. That's the next one. This one's going to go over here. Now, this one feeds on this side. This is the way round that we want these. And then manure is accessed from the back, and we're not going to worry about manure very much. We won't be doing much in the way of manure spreading on this one, but I'm going to make sure that we got enough room to be able to access it all anyway. And to do that, I think we want to bring this one up to about here. It's going to be... I can bring that one over there. I can bring that one a little bit closer. It's going to be a lot easier to reach the feeding point. So we can do the same again. We can lower that one down, so it goes to the lowest point, and then it will dig out the rest of the land around it. And there is that one in there. So there is our 2 pens right there. And you can see right in the middle of the cattle pen, we did miss one tree stump, but I can't get to that one. So there we go. There is the cattle pen and the pig pen all installed, all there, ready to go. We've got a little bit of a step up over here. We will be doing... The first thing that we do when we come into this in our next episode is... Well, that tree stump's going to have to stay there. There is absolutely nothing we can do about that one, because we can't get in here. One thing that they have done with this game is every single door that could be opened, like on the Estancia Lapacho map, and with all of their placeables and everything, they've got no opening doors. I'm bitterly disappointed about that, because that's a level of realism that was in the game that was removed, and I never did like that. But there isn't anything that we can do about it now. I will speed time up to 5 times speed again. I need to keep that one going. We'll go over to you, and we will go there. 4,300, yes. That one is going to be started. What did it say? Installation will be completed in 16 hours after it starts tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. And then we want to do the same over here. So we won't be able to put any animals in there tomorrow. You'd like to pay to... Yes, I would. Start at 6. That will take 16 hours as well. So that's going to take the same amount of time to get that water installed in there. Then we can start thinking about getting some animals into these pens. We won't get the animals until the water troughs are in. That's what we'll do. We'll wait. So we've got 250,000 left. Animals, if we have a look in here... Is it this side? No, that's where we get the milk from. We need to go round the back for the cattle. No, we don't. We go to this one. There's the cattle. 2,500. So we've got 250,000. We can get 100 cows. We can get 100 cows. And this pen has a total capacity for 200. So we can start off with 100 cows, and we can get that one filled. We can put the... what I'm thinking is put 100 cows in there and start working on them. And then the pigs we will work on later, because of the various different grains that they're going to need. They are 1,500 a pop, and we need 300 of them. So we're looking at 450,000 total for the pigs, and 500,000 for the cows. The cows, slightly more expensive. If we can get 100 of them, they will start breeding themselves, so we will save a little bit of money on that. And we'll start getting the milk, which is regular. The pigs, on the other hand, your money from them comes from selling the extra pigs that are bred each day. So they do breed quite quickly once you get a decent quantity in there. So they'll fill the pen up pretty quickly. But you've got to wait for them to fill up, and then you've got to keep selling part of their number. I think we're better off having the cows first and doing the pigs as the last one. But we've got the pens in here, and that's the important bit. Anyway, I've run out of time for today. I've gone way past time. So if you've enjoyed this episode, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.